Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the continuation of the Java series that I've created on the last video that I upload here. And the first video about Java series, the last I upload is from page 6 to 7. And now is page 8 of the Java lab. Executing static methods and implementing method overriding. Okay, let's start. Introduction. As a prerequisite for this lab, you should have already completed the following courses. Welcome to the Executing Static Methods and Implementing Method Overriding lab. Your assignment for this exercise is to access the static variables and the static method and also override equals method. Task 1. Assessing static methods and variables and implementing method overriding. The model solution to this task can be found on the next page. Complete the following tasks in sequence. Accessing static variables and static method using pass by value and pass by reference. Checking the operation of equal operator in equals method overriding the equals method. Okay, quiz. Answer the multiple choice question below. You can attempt to answer until it says completed. Question. Consider a situation where you have defined a static member, a static method, and a non-static method in a class. The static member and static method of a class can be accessed. I already choose the answer. Okay, and the answer is this. Either inside the static method or inside the non-static method. Okay, next page, the page 9. Solution executing static methods and implementing method override. Task 1. To write a Java program in our environment, we can get into an empty folder lab04 which is available in the file tree. Okay, the lab04 this one and this is the file tree. To get into the lab04 folder in the terminal type cd lab04, I already typed it the terminal and this is the terminal cd lab04 assign dollars. The static keyword in the Java can be applied with variables, methods, and nested classes when a variable is declared static. And a single copy of variable is created and shared among all objects. At a class level, static variables are global variables in all instances of the class share the same static variable. A static method in Java belongs to the class and not to the object. A static method can access only static data members and other static methods. A static method can be accessed directly by the class name but does not need any object to invoke it. To access static variables and methods in the file tree under workspace, file tree workspace, okay, these three dots, lab server and select the new file to create a file. Okay, lab server and click this new file and the file name is static underscore method underscore variable.java. Okay, we close it first. We already done this and this is the new file from under the lab04 static underscore method underscore variable.java. Okay, the file static underscore method underscore variable that is that Java is open in text editor. This one. To access static variable and methods in Java, type the following code in the text editor as this one, but I'm gonna do is copy it Okay, make sure we copy it. Ready? Okay, click copy and then paste it here. Alright, and check if it is the same to avoid error. Okay, same. Okay, I already copy on the text editor. Then okay, the number 8. Take on line 1 and 11. On line 1 and line 11, create two classified title Java project and static underscore Java project static underscore method underscore variable respectively. On line 2, we declare a variable. This one st1 equals to Java programming lab as static which is of the string. On line 3, we define a method display as static which can change the value of the static variable st1. On line 4. On line 7, we define method non-stand which is a non-static method. On line 12, we define main. This one main public static void main. On line 12, define main. In line 13, we create an object for the class Java project as J1 using the new keyword Java project J1 equals new Java project. On line 14 and 15, the static variable st1 and static method display are accessed with the class name Java project instead of the object of the class J1 as Java project.st1 and Java project.display respectively. On line 16, the non-static method non-stat is accessed using the object J1 as J1.non-stat. Then, okay, first we save this code and then we run it, but before we run, make sure we compile it first. Be careful typing the file name to avoid error for your code. Okay, compile first before run. Okay, think we don't have any error. Okay, type Java method underscore variable and then enter. Okay, this is the output accessing static variable Java Pro, and this one Java program lab. This is accessing static method javanovice javanista lab. This one static method. And this message is inside non-static method. Okay, this message is inside non-static method. Okay, I think we're good to go here. Uh, Next task, proceed to our next task, the number 2, task 2. In Java, pass by value means passing a method with a parameter as value. Here, the argument value is passed to the parameter. Java creates a copy of the variable being passed to the method and to perform manipulation on the variable. Hints of any modifications done to the variable which is passed as parameter does not reflect in the color scope. To perform pass dash by dash value in Java in the file tree under workspace, click on the three dots of the folder lab04 and select the new file. Okay, new file, and then the file name is pass by value. Pass by value .java. Then create file. Okay, and then the file pass by value.java is open the text editor. To perform this in Java, type the following code in the text editor. What I'm gonna do is copy the code, okay, and then paste it here. All right. Okay, double check. Line 12. Okay, we're good to go. All right. On line 1, we create a class titled as pass by value. On line 2, we define the main public static void main. On line 3, we declare a string variable color 1 as string color 1 equals blue. On line 4, the object for the class pass by value is created as pass by value c1 equals new. Pass by value open and close parentheses semicolon. And line 5, this one, system out print line, we display the value of the variable color 1 using print line method. On line 6, we pass the variable color 1 as parameter to the method change color which is defined on line 9. This one, 6c1 that change color 9. On line 10, we change the value of the variable color 1. This one, color 1 equals color 1 plus green. And display the variable color 1. On line 7, okay, here, this one is line 7. We expect that the value of the variable color 1 has changed from blue to blue-green, but since Java creates a copy of the variable being passed in method and then do the manipulation, the change is non-reflective in the color scope. And then we save the code, Control S, okay, compile it first before run this to avoid any error for this code. And then enter. Okay, no error. Run the program by typing the file name pass by value and then enter. Alright, before this is the output. Before passing value to method, the color is blue. After passing the value to method, the color is blue. As they said earlier, And as I said earlier, not this one. We expect that the value of the variable color 1 has changed from blue to blue-green because we declared the green. But since Java creates a copy of the variable being passed in the method and then do the manipulation, the change is not reflected in the color scope, so hindi siya lalabas. So blue pa rin siya. Yan. In the Java, pass by reference means the actual copy of reference is passed to the function. When we pass an object to a method, its memory address is copied to the new reference variable. To perform pass by reference in Java, in the file tree under, okay, we create new file again for the new task. This one and create the new file and pass by reference. Reference that Java. Alright. The file passed by reference to Java is opened in the text editor to perform pass by reference Java. Type the following code or copy. Alright, copy the code and paste it here. Okay, but first we double check. Okay, that's Java textbook name. Alright, the code is complete. Okay. In this program, we create two classes titled as Java, text, and pass by reference. And pass by reference on line 1 to 13, respectively. On line 3, we have a parameterized constructor where the variable book name is initialized. As this that book name equals book name on line 4. On line 6, toString method is used which returns a string representation of the object. If we print any object, the Java compiler internally invokes the toString method on the object, so overriding this toString method returns the respective output. If the toString method is not overridden, and then hash code values of the object will be printed. On line 9, we define the method setName as public void setName. On line 15, this one 15, we create an object book1 using parameterized constructor and pass the book name as Java textbook1 equals new Java text open and close parentheses Java dash the complete reference. In on line 16, we display the book name using printLine method. On line 17, we call the method changebook as changebook book1 where we pass the object book1 as parameter, and this method is called without object because it is defined as static. On line 20 as public static void changebook Java text book. On line 22, here is boo.setName. We change the value of the object as Java. A beginner's guide by using the setter method setName as boo.setName, a Java a beginner's guide. Then save it first and compile the code before run. Okay, enter. Okay, now the file path is successfully compiled without error. We type the file name to run the program. Okay, here's the output textbook for Java, the Java computer reference. New textbook for Java, Java, a beginner's guide. Okay, same with this output, this and here. Okay, task 3. In the equal is an operator that equals is a method of Java. Equal operator can be used for reference comparison, address comparison, and equals method to contain comparison. The operator is a binary operator provide used to compare primitives and object. The that equals method can be overridden, but we cannot override behavior of equal operator. To compare operator and equals method in the file tree under workspace, click the dot. Okay, we create a new file again. Double check. Okay, create. Okay, the file name comparequals.java is open text editor. Type the following code and copy the code. Copy and paste it here. Alright, double check the code again to avoid error. Alright, okay, let's start. On line 1 and then we define two classes titled as strict equals and compare equals respectively. On line 2 and 3, on line 2 and 3 we declare string variables fname and lname and integer variable age. This one age. On line 4 to 7, we define parameterized constructor to initialize the three parameters, which is this fname, lname, and age. On line 12 and 13, we create object namely str1, str2, str1, str2, line 12 and 13. On line 4, constructor on line 4, this one, line 4. On line 14, this one, we compare the two objects str1 and str2 using equals operator even though the contents of the two objects are same. The str equals equal, str2 return false because both objects point to different memory address. On line 15, this one, line 15, we compare the two objects str1 and str using equals method even though the contents of two objects are same. The str dot equals str2 returns false because both objects all point to different memory address. We can override the equals method to check whether two objects have the same content. On line 16, we have str equals str2 where the two objects str1 and str2 points to the same memory address. Since the two object points to the same memory address, the comparison of the object using equals operator and that equals method returns true on line 17 and 18 respectively. Now press Ctrl S to save the file, and but before we run we compile it first. Okay, double check the file name, enter. Now, the file compare equals this Java. That Java is successfully compiled without error. To run the program in the terminal, type Java compare equals and then enter. Okay, same output. The object using equal equal is false. Same with this output. Okay, let's proceed to task 4. The dot equals method is defined in object class, which is the supermost class in Java. This method can be used to compare two objects. In it returns the boolean value based on the comparison. When the two string objects have the same contents and comparing the two objects using dot equals method return false because both objects point to different memory address. Hence, we can override the equals open and close parenthesis object obj method to check whether two objects have the same content. To override the dot equals method in the file tray under workspace, click on the three dots folder Lab04 to select the new file. Okay, create the new file and metoveride. Met ay, mali. Metoveride. Metoveride dot Java. Okay. The file metaverse.java is open in the text editor. Type the following code, but I don't want to type it because I can copy it the easiest way. Copy and paste it here. Okay, but first, again, double check the code. Okay. On line 1 and 17, we define two classes titled as over method and metoveride respectively. On line 4, we define parameterized constructor which initialize the variables fname if paid in age. On line 9, we use at override annotation, which indicates that this class method that equal is overriding its base class object or that equals method. On line 10 to 14, is 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, we define overriding method that equals. On line 11, we check whether the given object is null, and also check whether both objects are belonging to the same class or not. If either one of these conditions are true, then it returns false. Else on line 13, we typecast obj to over method as over method 01 equals open close parenthesis over method of obj, so what we can compare in data members. Okay, on line 14 have the return method which checks the contents of two objects as return this. Okay, return this dot mpid equals 01, this dot fname dot equals 01 fname ampersand this dot age equals 01 dot age and returns true. They're equal on the line 19 and 20. 19 and 20, we create two objects str1 and str2 and pass values to the constructor. On line 21, this one, we compare the contents of two objects str1 and str2 using that equal method as str1 that equals open and close parenthesis, which returns true even though these two objects are pointing to different memory address. The reason is that we have override the that equals method. Now press the Ctrl S to save this file, and we save it, then we compile the code to avoid mistake or any error that might be happen or occurred. Alright, compile. Okay, already good. Now, the file metaverse.java is successfully compiled without error. To run the program in the terminal, type java metaverse. Okay, enter. Okay, the contents of two objects, even though they point to different address, true. Oh, goods. Okay, we're going to the next page, which is the page 10, and this is the last page for this video, implementing the concept of inheritance. Welcome to the Implementing the Concept of Inheritance Lab. Your assignment for this exercise is to implement single and multi-level inheritance, Java and also to perform upcasting, down and downcasting operation on object. Implement the different types of inheritance. The model solution to this task can be found on the next page. Complete the following tasks in sequence, implementing single inheritance, implementing multi-level inheritance, perform upcasting and downcasting operation on objects. Okay, quiz. Answer the multiple choice question below. You can attempt the answer until it successfully completed. Okay, the quiz is consider the given code. Class animal, void display system that print line, domestic animal. You have created the main class in inherit animal in which you have implemented upcasting and downcasting of object, which code snippet is the correct way of implementing typecasting, which gives the output as domestic animals live along with humans as companionship. Example of domestic animals are dogs, cats, cattle, etc. Okay, select the correct answer, but I already select it. This one. This is the answer, and yeah, correct. Okay, I think it's end of this video right now. Done with the page 10 already. Just keep on watching my video because I'm gonna do next is the Java series, maybe for the page 11, but not for now. Just okay, it's very soon. Thank you for watching my video about this Java series, the continuation on the last video that I upload from page 6 to 7, and this is the page 8 from 8 to 10. Okay, I believe. Okay, thank you and take care always. Bye bye.